Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a king known for his wisdom, justice, and strength. His name was King Azad. He ruled from a towering castle surrounded by mountains and rivers, and under his reign, the kingdom thrived in peace and prosperity. Azad was famous for his wisdom. People from all walks of life came to him seeking advice on difficult matters. He was never quick to judge, but always took the time to listen to everyone, whether they were peasants or nobles. He often said, "Wisdom is the key to every closed door." Though surrounded by scholars and advisors, he ultimately relied on his own deep thinking to make the right decisions. Despite his kindness and wisdom, Azad was a mighty warrior. He had learned the art of combat from a young age and fought many battles to defend his kingdom. He rode at the front of his army, leading them to victory time after time. The people called him the Mighty because he feared no enemy, no matter how powerful. Azad's strength did not corrupt him. He was known for his fairness. He did not differentiate between the rich and the poor. He was firm in upholding the law. He personally checked on the welfare of his people, listened to their complaints, and ensured that justice was served. He once told his people, "Power without justice breeds tyrants, and justice without power breeds chaos." In addition to his military might, King Azad possessed unyielding willpower. He faced many trials and challenges but never gave up. His principles guided him, and he always put the kingdom's welfare above all, even if it required personal sacrifices. Thanks to these qualities, Azad lived a long life and made his kingdom a beacon of peace and prosperity. The people learned from him how to be strong without losing their hearts and how to be just without being weak. After his death, his legacy remained. After King Azad's death, the kingdom continued to flourish under King Azad's principles for a time. However, as the years passed, some of the new rulers who succeeded him began to lose the balance Azad had achieved between power and justice. The first of these successors was his eldest son, Prince Raid. While Raid had learned much from his father, he differed from him in some ways. Raid believed that military power alone would protect the kingdom from collapse, and he began to rule with a heavy hand. During Raid's reign, tensions began to rise throughout the kingdom. The burdens on the peasants and working class increased, and decisions were made hastily without consulting the people. This created unrest, especially as the nobility began to exploit their positions. While the army remained strong, the justice the people had once experienced under King Azad's rule started to fade away. Azad had a younger son, Prince Salim, who bore a much closer resemblance to his father in character. Salim inherited Azad's wisdom and sense of justice. Unlike his brother Raid, Salim believed that leadership should strike a delicate balance between strength and compassion. However, Salim knew that directly confronting his older brother would only lead to conflict. Instead, Salim quietly began visiting villages and towns. He listened to the grievances of the people and offered them counsel. He secretly met with some of his father's old advisors and devised a plan to restore justice to the kingdom without causing chaos. Rather than inciting a rebellion, Salim aimed to reintroduce justice through peaceful means. Over time, the people began to rally around Salim, seeing him as their hope for returning to the just rule they had known under his father. Both peasants and nobles who believed in justice began supporting his efforts, and his movement grew steadily without causing any disorder. As pressure mounted on Raid, he realized that reforms were necessary to maintain stability in his kingdom. In a historic moment, Salim requested a secret meeting with his brother Raid. This meeting wasn't meant to provoke or challenge Raid, but to present an idea. The two brothers talked for hours, and eventually, Raid began to realize the mistakes he had made, especially as he saw how much the people supported his younger brother. Following the meeting, the brothers decided to rule the kingdom together, with Raid leading the military.